Hi there. It's Trisha Broderick with Ignite Insight and Innovation, and I'm starting off December with an apology. I was supposed to go live on Friday, and I was completely disconnected, totally forgot, totally had no remembrance, came back today and went, uh-oh, blog post went out with the wrong link, everything. So I'm coming on and I'm changing and pivoting and saying for December of 2025, our final live for the year, that I'm going to highlight the benefits of disconnection and why, even though I'm starting this one off with a apology, it was worth it professionally in terms of what I needed to do to disconnect. So when I say disconnect, there's lots of different forms. What I'm talking about is kind of that professional disconnecting where I did not get on email. I did not get on Slack. I did not get on really any news sites, honestly. I did do a little bit of Facebook because I'm old. But in general, I wasn't looking at the news stories or reels on Facebook or anything along those lines. I really wasn't texting. I was kind of pretty disconnected, which is why I totally missed my to-do list. I never opened Trello really in terms of what my work list was to do. I disconnected. So I want to highlight kind of the benefits. The downside is you might miss an activity that you were supposed to do, but whatever. But let's talk about the benefits and highlighting that with it. So I actually find that I've tried to do this several times, and I have to disconnect for several days before I really start feeling the benefits. Like even in that first day or two, I'm still going, okay, what do I need to do? Like my brain is still cycling. My brain is still like going through the list. Even if I'm not physically looking at it, I'm thinking about what I need to do. So it takes me easily at least 2, maybe sometimes even 3 days to slow this down, to not have a doing list, to not having it think about what I need to check next, look at next, do next. And so it is one of those things for me when I need to disconnect. It is not I'll just disconnect for an hour. That just does not get me any of these benefits. It does not do it for me. If it does it for you, I'm impressed, but it is not something that works for me. So it takes me a couple days before I really start feeling that disconnection. But once I do, I can then I settle down. Like it's an interesting thing is when I'm not go, check mark. I do find myself breathing a little slower, right? Like I can rest a little bit. I just pause more. I'm not constantly feeling like that. I'm on the edge, constantly like, what do I need to think about? What am I missing? What am I doing? My brain slows down, which is lovely, right? It is a calming kind of dynamic that comes in. But there's this other thing that happens for me that I realize when I truly disconnect and when I have that calming start happening is that when I do happen to see something or think of something or talk about something, I'm not instantly at 9. That by disconnecting some, I'm letting everything settle to the point that I'm not constantly building on the last thing I just thought of, did, worked on, anything along those lines. And so I feel more settled with that, right? Like it's not I'm running at 100 miles an hour constantly. I'm actually like, okay, I can pick up the speed a little bit and engage with it. So there's definitely a benefit for me not feeling like I'm constantly like at that breaking point, but coming down and settling, I guess is the only way. This is not a medical scientific live by any means, but it's kind of what I experience. Another thing that I experience is I definitely start to notice other things. I am very, very, it is a talent to be hyper focused. Like I am able to kind of go, okay, what's next? What do I got? In fact, today is kind of one of those days. Okay, what do I gotta do? Oh, I messed that up. Okay, I got to do this. I got to do that. And I get so hyper focused that I don't notice things around me, or at least not consciously. Right. And in doing that, I don't give myself a lot of space. So when I disconnect, I start to notice just even like things like I was like, oh, I have a little soreness in my wrist that I didn't even notice or whatnot. Maybe I will take a break from handstanding for a little bit. Like I honestly did not notice it at all when I'm running and running. But when I stopped, when I disconnected and stuff, I was like, I started paying attention to other things like my body, but just things around me. And by giving it that space, there's other things that may need some attention or may want some attention that I just fly right by and don't notice. And by disconnecting these last several days, I started really kind of noticing other things that was important for me to notice and to pay attention to. I also find it very, look, I love myself a check. I do. But it is also very freeing to go someplace without my computer, without my computer bag of speaker supplies, without all of this extra like elements of things of don't forget or do it. There's just kind of a freeing of this is my time. I'm not worried about servicing, giving, helping people, servicing. I am not worried about, delivering for organizers. I'm just getting to be me. I'm getting to just engage, to relax, to maybe go on an adventure, right? Like whatever it might need, I am giving myself that space to just be present, to notice those other things, but also to just enjoy as it is, without pressures, without expectations, without, and granted, a lot of the times those pressures and expectations I do to myself, but without any of that along the path. I just am enjoying as I'm going forward with it. And there is something just relaxing in that, freeing in that, calming in that of whatever happens. Let's go with it. Going with the flow. As somebody who loves her risk registers, I'm not always great about just going with the flow. And yet every time I do it, it's not only relaxing, it's freeing, it's energizing, though, in a completely different way. It's energizing in a way that feels like autonomous in different ways. It's energizing in a way that's you're trusting yourself to handle whatever happens, to just go with the flow with things, to enjoying whatever is happening or making the most out of it or laughing, testing yourself in different ways. And so in this disconnect for me, I had all of those experiences. And I also found myself really being able to be more adventuresome and mentally resilient than I have in the past. And this was maybe something that might have happened in the past, but I really noticed it by truly the level of disconnect that I got was that I could be not only super present, but mentally resilient. And I'll give a specific example that we went paddleboarding in Costa Rica on this retreat. And I like dogs. I don't really like other animals. And I especially don't like things like crocodiles. And when we went on a paddleboarding adventure, granted, adventure was in the name, it did not occur to me that I would be paddleboarding in water where I saw a baby crocodile. I was freaking out. But I actually, because I was kind of so free and so like present in the thing, I had the mental resilience to stay on that paddleboard. Like I was like, I am not falling off this thing. I was focused, but yet I also really enjoyed it. Like I want to paddleboard again. I do not want to paddleboard in water with crocodiles or any other kinds of things along those nature, but I want to paddleboard again. And that's a really fascinating thing for me to have been so mentally stressed, so like focused in it freaking out and yet still enjoy it, right? And enjoy it on a level that I want to explore more. Not the water part, but the paddleboarding part, right? And this was not a small, like, this was not like paddleboard for 10 minutes. This was like an hour, people. And I had that mental resilience to be able to do it because I was disconnected. I wasn't multitasking in my brain. I wasn't panicking about a deadline, worried about the time of being late for something. I have an obsessive need to not be late, right? And I wasn't worried about any of those things. I could just focus in on staying on that board. and I did it. I did it. I did not go in that water. And I think about that in terms of just the benefits of disconnecting and really what level of mental resilience. I talk so much about resiliency, but there is an element of, until you kind of have some of that presence, that freeing, the focus, being able to notice other things, the ability to relax a little bit, it is difficult to stay mentally resilient. It is difficult to kind of keep moving forward, keep focused in on. And so it's this weird element of like releasing to focus. And I definitely experienced that this weekend or this week, this retreat, in terms of releasing to be able to focus. The focus was more internal. The focus was more self-indulgent, right? The focus was more in what was around me and what was just showing up in the moment. But as a result of that, my resilience grew. My resilience actually could shine. And it was just a really wonderful experience in that light and in that way, to understand that to speed up, you really do have to slow down, right? And to experience that. I know we all say it, but sometimes it really does mean experiencing it, reminding yourself of it, feeling it again, to go, yeah, I do need to disconnect. I do need to do those things more and more. And it's okay. I'll get the tasks done. I'm running through them today as I need to. People will accept or not that I missed a live. It will be just fine. Nobody, and if you're that upset about it, disconnect as you're going forward with it. And so this was, as every year for this retreat, a powerful thing of resetting for myself, reminding myself, and in this case, building a little bit of resilience by doing all of that, which was a lovely, unexpected bonus for myself. So I do not have any I'm not speaking publicly upcoming. I am not at any conferences in the next couple months. I am, and I don't have any public classes. I feel almost guilty saying that out loud, but I've got a number of things running, and I'm just doing a number of private kinds of things right now, but things will be coming, I'm sure, and I'll be announcing them when I get them situated and set up. So enjoy the rest of your year. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. If you need anything or want me to rant about anything specific, just let me know. Otherwise, I wish you all the best.